the same level groups? And what role does technology play in multi-level instruction? We also want to consider, of course, because Oxford is graciously putting on this webinar, how does the Oxford Picture Dictionary program support multi-level instruction? So first, I think it's important to know who we are. Consider it somewhat of a community building activity. And in order to do that, I'm going to run a number of polls. You're going to see your screen change. With any luck. I should knock wood when I say that. I've gone down to the corner. Our list has been extended on the left-hand side. And I'm going to put a small chat pod up so that if you have questions for Michael, you can ask Michael your questions. And you've already started to answer the questions. How many of you are from the Northwest, the West Coast, the Southwest, the Midwest, the Southeast, the Northeast? If we have any Canadians, or anybody from Mexico. We're still growing. Okay, Janice, you have a question? Or you're raising your hand to show that you, or Jessica, I'm sorry. Jessica, either you have a question or you're raising your hands to show that you're from one of those areas, but actually what you want to do is click on the poll pod. John, you'll want to do the same thing. You'll click on the poll pod, not in the chat box. So you just click on that. Okay, so Faith, if you have a question, you can type it in Michael's chat pod. Otherwise, you can click right on the poll pod. We're going to try another poll right now. We are pretty well split between the west side of the country and the middle of the country and the south and the northeast. A perfect multi-level group. Let me ask how you would describe yourself. So again, click on one of the answers here in the polling pod. Looks like we're primarily a classroom teacher group, but we have a healthy number of coordinators and administrators. Welcome to the T-cell students. A couple of publishers have popped in. And look at those three equally important people just not listed here. And I have to quickly try and do the math to see how many people we have in this room. Michael, I'm going to have you do the math, actually, the next time we do the poll. Take a look. Okay. My next question to you is, what level of learners do you work with most often? Look how the middle school teachers have stayed away. So it looks like we've got a very healthy proportion of adult school, followed by community college, and the rest split between workplace, elementary, there's middle school, and high school. And then we have two others. I'm guessing that might be our publishing group. Oh, here come a few more. This, of course, is a self-serving question. I'd like to know, which picture dictionary do you use most often? Are you working with what I like to call Old Blue, the new Oxford Picture Dictionary that's actually quite old? Are you working with the 98 edition, which is black? Are you working with the brand new edition, the 2008 second edition, which has large letters OPD? Are you using the Red Book, the basic Oxford Picture Dictionary, or the late elementary, middle school book, which is Oxford Picture Dictionary for the content areas, the Kids Dictionary? And 7 of you don't use a picture dictionary. No, 8 of you don't. I hope, Wilma, you want to put your answers in the pod, in the poll pod. And Joseph, don't worry if you can't remember. This is just to get a general idea. Today we will be working primarily with the 2008 Oxford Picture Dictionary. However, if you work with the 98 edition, many of the topics are similar, and so of course the strategies would apply. The strategies here would really apply to all picture dictionaries. But I have a personal bias. And last but certainly not least, if you were not attending this webinar right now, what would you be doing? Would you be napping, snacking, working, reading a book, running, spending time with your family, spending time with your friends, running errands, buying groceries, doing housework, crafting, playing soccer, or basketball or football, making music, talking on the phone, surfing the net, reading and replying to email, watching a movie, watching or listening to the news, or other. Oh, look at how many of you I'm taking away from the workplace. So we can see from this poll alone that we have a healthy number of different activities that we might be engaging in this afternoon. And I'm very grateful that you've chosen to spend this time with me and with the Picture Dictionary. So now that we've had an opportunity to get to know a little bit about each other, oh, you couldn't see the results of the last poll? I'm sorry, Joy. It was primarily people working. I've taken it away, and we're going to go now to, that's enough classroom building. You know, I'm all for the 60s and touchy-feely. But I promise that I'll move a little more slowly. And Jessica, I'm glad that I can share with you that there is a 2008 edition. So in order to answer our first question, which is what are the elements of multi-level instruction? And I'm just going to find that very nice. Oh my goodness. Well, the elements of multi-level instruction seems to have gone away. Marcia, you can drag the screen. You can drag your window. But I have my screen as large as it can be to try to show you. So we're going to be talking about the key elements of multi-level instruction, and hopefully most of you are able to see this. If not, you can follow along in your handouts. That's something that we have found that sometimes happens with the screen on different computers. So these are the elements that we'll be discussing today: working with the general theme or objective, creating leveled objectives, making whole class presentations accessible to all learners, providing same level practice activities and mixed level practice activities. And of course, one key element, I did not find the laughter insulting, one key element that you know what I'm going to ask you to do, if you don't have this particular thing, you have all of these in your handout, are laid out with examples. I chose to give you a simple list here simply so that you could see each of these elements. So these elements are throughout your handout, and if you look at the question of, you know, what are the elements of multi-level instruction, you'll see those listed. It's also listed in, let me give you the exact, I've got the page in front of me. How can a single picture support different levels of instruction? So the thing that is missing from this is, of course, the importance of class community. And class community allows the learners to work in the groups effectively. So although we did a very brief rendition of that with the polls, you would really want your learners to be looking to building community, building connections with each other at the beginning of every session. Looking a little more closely at the first three elements, want to make sure that you are creating level-specific objectives within a theme or topic. So if I were to choose